Hey, thank you for coming back. And in today's video, I'd like to talk to you about another set of wireless earbuds. And it's these. The SoundPeats Mini Pro wireless earbuds. I like the case. I don't know if you can really tell, but there's a faint gray strip right here across the where the lid is to separate it. And the rest is pretty much a matte black finish. And embossed right here it says SoundPeats. On the back is the USB Type-C charging port. And just above my finger there's a little tiny LED to let you know when it's charging and when it's fully charged. Of course, inside you do get both the earbuds. Now these are IPX5 waterproof rated. So it'll be great for a sweat, a nice light rain, but I wouldn't take them into the shower or a nice big heavy rain. Don't do that, or submerge them in anyway. They are Bluetooth 5.2. The codecs or codices that they use is SBC AAC, and yes, they do use the aptX codecs. There is 4 modes in these earbuds: normal, ANC, gaming, and pass-through. Pass-through is pretty much that ambient mode, you know, where if you turn it on you can hear your surroundings. You can use one earbud at a time, basically the mono mode, but you're going to lose control over the ANC and pass-through modes if you use them one at a time. And as you can tell just from looking at them, there is no clicky buttons or anything. That's because it's all touch controlled. And the touch control is very responsive and very accurate. You get single, double, triple taps and a long press, or long, you know, press and hold type of a thing. Those are all the types of controls you need on either one. Now these earbuds are packed full of features. Not just the 4 modes, but well, mainly that, and then, you know, the user interface to get your music going and taking calls and voice assistant and all that stuff. So since it's so packed full of features, they kind of did not include a reverse skip track in the touch controls. So you're basically, if you want to go back and listen to that song again, you're going to have to pull out your device and do it that way. You can't control it on here, on the earbuds themselves. And there is no app app support for these earbuds, as far as I know. It might be coming in the future, I don't know. But right now, there is no app support for these earbuds. Pretty much that's about it for the specifications of these earbuds. So right now let me give you a video sample of what the microphones sound like. This is the test of the built-in microphones of the SoundPeats Mini Pro wireless earbuds. As usual, I am in my room with no open windows and as quiet as I can possibly make it. This is pretty much the ideal conditions for these microphones to perform. Coming up next is pretty much the outside test with some background noise to see how well or how bad the built-in microphones perform. So instead of my usual just playing some simulated background noise to test the built-in microphones of the SoundPeats Mini Pro. Right now I'm in my car, or my Jeep, and so I'm going to drive and see what happens. Right now I'm rolling down 2 of my windows, and I got the heat turned up right now. And I'm going to turn the radio on to a sensible level. So right now you're hearing the built-in microphones of the SoundPeats Mini Pro with the windows down, the radio on, and heat turned up. And this is what it's going to sound like if you're driving and trying to take a phone call. So what I'm doing now is rolling up all of my windows. And the only thing going on right now is the heat and the radio. And right now I'm going to shut the radio off. And right now just the heat is turned on because of course it's winter time. Now I'm going to shut the heat off. And this is what it sounds like if you're just driving and you're not listening to the radio or anything while trying to make a phone call. So this was the second test of the SoundPeats Mini Pro built-in microphones. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that little test of the microphones in the SoundPeats Mini Pro. Now let's kind of get into it. Let's start off with the ANC. Now the ANC works really great. When you turn it on, you're definitely going to notice that especially the lower frequency type noises gets cut down quite a bit. A lot of the higher pitched noises, you know, like maybe someone squealing, you know, doing a burnout or laying on their horn, that may come through, but definitely the lower end one sounds, those get cut off great. Even if you were to snap your fingers, that's one of the tests I like to do. I could not hear that this far away, which is about 2 feet away from me. I could not hear me snapping my fingers while playing the music through this. Now in gaming mode, there is a bit of a latency. It is noticeable, but it didn't ruin my gaming experience. It was still quite enjoyable with the gameplay. And I really didn't notice much of a latency, if any at all, while watching videos or a movie either. So it was mainly while playing games, but the games too were kind of like something, you know, like the Call of Duty type thing, not like, you know, Candy Crush. But, you know, the games that require a little bit more power from your processor, you might notice something. And if latency is an issue for you and you don't want any latency, well, the wired option is probably going to be the best for you. What do I mean by that? Wired headphones or wired IEMs or in-ear monitors. That might be for you. The fit of these is really nice. And yes, like your typical earbuds, you put them in, you give it a little bit of a twist till they feel comfortable, and you make sure they seat properly. I know I keep saying this on all these type of videos, but I'm not going to stop. You have to make sure you have the right size ear tips on these earbuds in order for them to fit properly. With me, one ear canal is slightly bigger than the other, so yes, I actually have to use 2 different sizes. One earbud is one size, the other earbud is a different size. You may have that problem or not. I know I do. But if you really want to make sure they fit nicely in your ears, I would suggest looking into memory foam type ear tips. Speaking of that, of fit, these, despite that, I mean, it's a typical performance from factory style type ear tips. Once I got them properly seated in the proper size, they never fell out or loosened up on me. So, but if you want to help out the ANC in these a little bit better, get the memory foam ear tips. But that's just me, my opinion, may not be for you. Now, the runtime on this, they boast 7 hours, and a total of 21 hours with the included case. So you're going to get 7 hours plus 2 extra charges out of the case. Now, with the ANC on, I got 5 hours of runtime. And with the ANC off, I got 7 hours and 12 minutes of playtime. And that was with the volume set at 70%. Not all the way up, it was at 70%. So please keep that in mind. Now the pass-through mode works very well. It definitely lets you hear your surroundings and what's going on around you, but it does sound a little bit muffled, kind of like that background noise, you know, like when you're talking to someone and you know there's a TV on, but you can't quite make it out what it's saying. It's kind of like that effect. And so it does work, so you could definitely tell what's going on around you. One thing I do want to notice too is with the ANC and gaming mode, you will notice a bit of a bump up in the bass and mid-range in these earbuds. It doesn't muddy up the sound at all. It doesn't sound horrible. It just like they add half a notch, you know, like if it, like say if the bass was and mids were set on 8, this will give you like 8.5, possibly a 9 in the bass, just turning it up a little bit. Like I said, you will notice a little bit of a bump, but it doesn't ruin the whole overall sound experience or the sound profile. Actually, I kind of like that little bit of a bass bump in these, especially while listening to a movie or something of that nature. They do get pretty loud. Normally on my earbuds, I actually have to set earbuds around 70 to 75%. With the SoundPeats Mini Pro, my sweet spot is 60 to 65% with these earbuds. So they do, for me, they do get pretty loud. So, you know, you may disagree, but everybody hears things differently. For me, on the SoundPeats Mini Pro, it's 60 to 65%, and that is a perfect sweet spot for these. Now let's get into the overall sound. The bass is very deep, warm, and punchy. How can I put it? With a little bit of a rumble to it. So basically at the higher volume, you're going to start getting that tickle in your ear and in the back of your neck due to the bass. But it doesn't, even at high volumes or even at low volumes, that bass that's in here does not muddy up the sound. It's still very nice and clean, which is very remarkable. The mids are very smooth, clean, and buttery. Vocals really shine with the SoundPeats Mini Pro. Not just lead vocals, but like backing vocals as well. Even in some of those songs where in the distance you kind of hear like a little bit of someone speaking or singing in the back that's not really meant, I guess, to be heard over everything else, you can clearly hear it. I mean, it is fantastic for vocals, especially. Cymbal hits, click of the drumsticks. You're going to love the mid-range in this. Now the high end is very bright, crisp, but yet pleasant. What do I mean by that? You can crank these bad boys up all the way and you won't get that ringing in your ears from that high-pitched squeal or tone or anything like that. It doesn't become tinny at all. In a way, on certain songs, it seems as if when the louder I got, they kind of kicked down the high end a little bit, if that makes sense to you. But honestly, I think the way they mixed these or tuned these earbuds, I think the high end was designed to tie everything together to make it sound good, that good and very with the clarity and everything of these. Overall, the sound reproduction is very excellent. The instrument separation is phenomenal. There's no distortion or any type of muddying up of the sound or any of that stuff. I think bass heads and audiophiles will really enjoy these. And what do I mean, by the way, by instrument separation? Well, if you listen to anything like funk music, where they have a horn section, keyboards, and drums, and cymbals, you know, they have a whole mix of just, you know, different types of instruments in there. Well, guess what? You'll be able to hear every single instrument as it's being played with these. And that's what I mean by instrument separation. You'll be able to clearly hear the keyboards. a tambourine playing, the horn section. You'll even be able to pick out what horn is playing, whether it be a saxophone, trombone, French horn, flute, whatever. You'll be able to pick it out. That is if you know what those instruments sound like. These to me sound like studio monitoring headphones, but with a bit more bass in mid-range. You will definitely love the clarity of the music coming through. Even when I was watching some movies and YouTube videos and stuff, the clarity of it all was really fantastic. Like I said, that's why it reminded me of studio monitoring headphones, because studio headphones are designed to give you as clear sound as possible, so you can hear every little thing. Even a pick hitting the strings you can hear. And that's what these remind me of. And by the way, one last note. Gaming modes and ANC mode, I don't care what earbuds. They always drain the battery faster than just running it in normal mode. So if having a longer playtime is more important than, you know, active noise canceling, put these in normal mode and you'll get about the 7 hours worth. And of course, the louder the volume you put on these, the more battery it uses, blah, blah, blah. So what do I recommend these? Yeah, these are like 50 bucks. And right now at the time of me filming this, I don't know how long the sale's gonna go on. You could knock another 12 bucks off through Amazon for these. So these are definitely worth every single penny. If you're ever kind of holding back, saying, I'm going to wait till I find me a really good pair of earbuds and this, that, and the other, guess what? The SoundPeats Mini Pro are definitely worth getting. These are the ones I would highly recommend you get right now. If you're holding off getting a pair of true wireless earbuds, don't hold off anymore. Grab these. Well, let's put it this way. If you don't believe me, believe El Jefe. I'll leave a link to his video review of these in the description below. I watched his review and I was like, I gotta test these out. Got them in, and to be honest, I really wasn't expecting much. These blew me away for the price point. These are tied in for the #1 spot of my favorite earbuds. The High Tune Originals and the X6s, the Tailtronic Sound Liberty 94, and now these. All of those are my #1 picks, and I would highly recommend you get them. Hey, if you happen to like this video, please give it that thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button, and please don't forget about the notification bell. It would really mean a lot to me if you were to share this video on all of your social media sites. And, well, until the next video, you have a great day.